Greetings. Blessings to you, love and light. Namaste. And a very good morning to you. First time I'm ever having English tea. English breakfast tea. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. Okay, soul healing with Raven. Happy Saturn's Day. Blessings to you all, love and light. We're just over a full moon towards the end of the weekend last weekend. So now we are into a lot of different things. Soul healing. Let's get into it, shall we? Hello, Sabbatha. Good morning. Good to see you. Looks like there is definitely a lot of light. So I got to give myself time next time for video adjustments. I apologize for that in advance. So let me know you're here. Say hello, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, show me some love. Oh yeah. All right, so let's see. Let's turn down the brightness ever so gently. Contrast and sharpness, turn down the saturation ever so gently. There we go. All right, and let's see, contrast a little bit. Yeah, that works. All right. So that's a little better. Now you see the light on this beautiful Saturday morning. Changing life. All right. So soul healing. What's soul healing, right? Don't let other people tell you how to feel, how to act or react. Kimberly. Yes. Okay. Enjoy your commitment. Okay. Enjoy it. Awesome. Awesome. It'll be on my wall. You have a great day too, dear. Here's the thing. And I got to talk about manifestation and abundance for a moment. Because there's a lot of things that haven't been, let's just say, explained in depth. Manifestation and abundance, especially within changing your environment, all has to do with vibration, being hyper aware of everything around you, paying attention to the synchronicities that are happening in your life, numbers, what we call coincidences, we can see chance or choice. See, ultimately, what we have to look at is our lives as a whole. Life as a whole, right? So, at this moment, you have to ask yourself some very interesting questions. You have to ask yourself very interesting questions. Some of these questions are, what do I resonate with most? What do I resonate with most? What is it that I wish to create now along this timeline, along this essence? What is it that I absolutely have to have in my life, right here, right now, that's going to make me happy? I'm sitting here adding people because I would like to see more people come in. The time has come, folks. The time has come to be and do exactly what it is that you are supposed to be doing. I know that some of it's been tough. I know sometimes subconsciously we just think that, maybe something doesn't matter or other things matter more than others, which is true. Talk faintly about prioritizing. But most of the time, it's just simple practices that we do daily. Like today, for an example, right? I made a choice. I made a choice to wake up early on a Saturday to give you what is absolutely necessary for you to become your very best version. So, my personal faith within all this, the things that I believe, may not be what you believe. But either way, they are my half truth, and there are things that we as a collective can do for the masses and to bring in connectivity. Sharing this is one of them. The question is, what do you really want? Share. Please share with us here. Share with me. What are your passions? What is something that you would like to create or reach to in life that you haven't been able to? And let's talk about it. Now, again, I'm just randomly adding people because there's names like all over the place. So I'd like to get into the meat and potatoes of what's truly happening in this world. We're not reaching deep enough. We're not doing what it is that we absolutely want to do. Now, you may be doing a few things, maybe doing all of them, maybe doing none of them. But the truth is, what do you really want in life? Whatever it is that you want, in divine time, you can create it. You must choose to do the things sometimes that are uncomfortable for you. Okay? Like me, waking up early on a Saturday, making tea, having a shower already, being here early to be with you. Is that uncomfortable? Not entirely. But it's uncomfortable with waking up early. What is something that's uncomfortable for you that you really, really want to do, but yet deep down you might be afraid, or something you may not know what, but something is holding you back? Okay? Comment below. And like I said before, do not allow external influences to stop you from living your life the way that you want to. The only individual that, or influence, catalyst, that can do that is you. Now, the mind is most certainly a terrible thing to waste. But yet, it's still a tricky beast, tricky creature, organ, muscle. All things considered, we have to begin the process of reprogramming. No, it matters not what you believe in, but in some way, shape, or form, it does matter whether you believe in something higher than yourself, something greater than yourself, something more powerful than yourself. I do it because I know that it becomes manifest. Believe in a rock, believe in an angel or celestial being or something. But what you devote your time and energy to becomes more prevalent and prominent in your life. Always remember that. Remember, whatever you focus and devote your time to, it becomes priority. So if you're paying close attention to somebody else's life, let's say, right, and you don't like the way that they live, which again, that's judgment. But we have two things, 11:11, and I saw 10:10 earlier. I see a lot of this. Even I do it from time to time. Is there's still judgment in this world? We still have it, and we still have ego, regardless. So, all in all, we have to look at what it is that we wish to make manifest, right? So, what is it that you really want to have all the time in your environment that's going to make you happy? That, at times, is the $1,000,000 question. I mean, it could be a partner. It could be doing what you're passionate about. Drawing or being creative, making things, making something out of nothing, of course. But here's the point: is that time and time again, we do not stop to reflect and see what we're focusing on. We don't become aware of what we're focusing on. For an example, the other person's life. So if you're focusing on somebody else living, you're really not living. All you're doing is living in their shadow. Make sense? I bet it does. So putting energy into thoughts about the way that somebody else lives is not conducive to you choosing what it is you absolutely have to have, or whatever is desired, or whatever it is that you wish to accomplish or create in your life. So you have to choose. This is about soul healing, people. There's a one thing that your brain's got to do in order to make this process become manifest. And that's to choose. Freedom of choice is something that we all have. At times, freedom of choice is influenced by external forces. People, meaning friends, family, coworkers as well. Coworkers are pretty big, okay? Because you're there a majority of the time with them. But when you take into consideration that you have the power to choose right here, right now, a different way of being, a different way of living, and a different way of believing, shifting the mindset to create what you absolutely must have. Now, Tony Robbins said it great. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Just like, I'm pretty sure it's the fifth or sixth principle of hermetics, where it says that every act, well, I'm just going to break down my way. Every action or reaction is the same, but it only differs in degree. Only differs in degree. So I could be going into a situation, let's say work, not liking it, horrible, hating my boss, don't even like the word. And apparently, when I leave my house, when I walk outside, when I leave my door, I begin to like to fester and manifest this kind of energy. This energy has to be transmutated. It's got to be transmuted to positive energy. Now, the truth is, most of the time, what we see to be truth is not always truth. That's why we say half truth. So take into consideration everything that you have lived in your life. There are probably things that you've done, would not be surprised. Just taking a look here. Okay. It's probably been, you know, I apologize, the total allergies just took a pill for it. There has been times in life where depression sets in. Feels like the world is totally against you. Or it feels like the weight of the world is just pressing down upon your shoulders. See, when we were created, humanity, we were gifted with two very, very important things. Two. One was free will. Two was unconditional love. Now, unconditional love can be different for everybody. It can be. You can share with me how you feel about unconditional love. Comment below, of course. Share with me what it is. What's your version of unconditional love? I will tell you that more times than most, you will find that the explanation to that is not very different from other people's. And it's not very different from other people's. I said everything is the same, but it only differs in degree, right? Only differs in degree. So taking into consideration one thing. Choice. Let's take in a couple of factors. Choice, mindset, environmental influences, thought processes, emotions, to name a few. What is it that you, well, let's say where, not what, but where do you allow yourself to go when things are going shitty? Most of the time, a majority of people will allow themselves to marinate and swim in that energy field. Because just like the phrase says, misery loves company. So once we get into that emotional construct, pay attention here. When we get into that emotional construct, we begin to allow that energetic environment to fill our every essence. Maybe you saw something on the TV, on the news this morning that you just didn't like. Most of the time, I don't even watch news anymore, except for the weather. That's why we got these now. Okay? Weather apps. Because there's too much tragedy. There's too much violence. Specifically violence. I don't know if you, wherever you are, wherever you're located, no matter where you are in the world, there's a ton of violence. Murders, homicides, kidnapping, trafficking. But why? But see, here's the thing. If you focus on that, that is all you are going to see. The news itself is part of manifestation. Because if you're watching it at noon, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you're actually focusing a lot of your time and energy on something that you don't want to see. Now you have a free will choice. This is talking about love, career, passion, purpose, everything that you could possibly imagine in life becomes real when you focus your energy on creating what you desire. You don't want to see stuff like that? Don't watch it. You don't want to experience pain? Learn how to be guarded and cold. If you wish to embrace unconditional love, be vulnerable, but still have integrity. You have to take in what you really want to take in, not what you've been programmed to take in. We've been programmed for too long, ladies and gentlemen. We've been programmed for too long to do and see and believe exactly what the 2% or the 5% want us to believe or do. Think about it. So, since you have all that power, since you have all, I'm going to repeat this, since you have all that power, what are you going to do with it? Now, understand that in time, things change. It's a natural ebb and flow that after everything that's really amazing and really good in life is met with its equal and absolute opposite counterpart. Again, this is balance. This is drive. This is focus. If we tend to direct ourselves in such a way that we begin to focus on what doesn't resonate, think about what happens. I'm actually adding more people. Yes, I am doing this. Sooner or later, I won't have to do this. But you can look at your life. You can look at your situation. You can look at what it is that's going on around you and legitimately see what has to be different and what has to change. You probably already know it. Well, sitting here, listening to me, babble on, you probably already know things that have to be done, things that have to change, things that you wish to manifest. Brooke says that she hasn't even watched TV in over 3 years. 3 years. That's a long time. I mean, I watch, every once in a while. I mean, I watch sitcoms. I try not to pay attention to the commercials, of course, because that's just reprogramming within itself. I mean, I'm mostly on here, or when I'm on my phone, I'm usually looking up stuff for, like, for work or hobbies or whatever, what have you. Something to help people, symbol and better foods, keto and paleo and paleo, whatever they call it, paleo diet, things like that. But ultimately, you see, what we focus on is what we create in our 3D. Okay, we're always talking about dimensions. So within our 3D environment, we're looking at this. I just got chills just now. I just got goosebumps again, so I'm on the right track. So when we're looking at life itself, we have to look at it like levels. I was going to say a sandwich, okay? A sandwich of layers, all right? And our minds, our brains actually have already 3 parts of that, which is conscious, subconscious, and superconscious, okay? But outside of that is our external influences, okay? Or our heart, our emotions, our soul, solar plexus, and our sacral chakra, okay? Our throat chakra, which resonates or emits that vibration of thought and emotion, okay? So I know a lot of individuals that keep saying to me, hey, Raven, why do you make it sound like human beings are computers or machines? Let me explain. The truth is that we kind of are. Our brains are like the computers, okay? Our eyes are the prisms to see. Our hearts pump, are part of the machine, a very important part, like kind of like the engine to your car, okay? But it moves, the blood and the enzymes and things like that, throughout the system. Liver and endocrine, we're talking hormones and all those things. So it kind of is like a machine, but it's an alive machine. It's like AI, but not really. Okay. The thing is that when we begin to reflect on these most important parts, these levels, these layers of our lives, we begin to become aware of legitimately what's happening around us. Again, legitimately of what's happening around us. And there's 3 questions usually, okay, and I'm going to share this. Usually 3 questions that have to be answered in our minds in order for something to be true. Okay, it's usually like, for an example, like who, what, and why. Okay, that's normal psychology. Okay, who, what, and why. So if we have no answer to one of them, like our whole thing just goes all okay, and we're like totally confused. So what we have to do is we have to again educate ourselves on certain things, okay, like modalities, practical protectional practices that we can do and we can use in order for us to create the environment in which we really want to have. So let's say, for an example, okay, let's say 3 out of 4 spaces, okay, levels, layers, let's say 3 out of 4 layers in your life. We're talking layers like home, love life, self-love, contribution, whatever. Let's say 3 out of those 4 are blah, blah, okay? And what you would have to do, obviously, you have the one there that may not be, but that fourth gets affected by those other, those other ones. And all of it becomes a mess. And that's not the desired effect. And then anybody who just came in here, just remember 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Sunday mornings. Okay, one's Sunday's Sunday healing, and Saturday is soul healing with me. So it's talking about manifestation, changing life, and doing a whole bunch of different things now, starting now. All right. So what is it in your life that you wish to create? Okay, most of the time, I'd say more times than most, 9 times out of 10, it's usually 3 factors. It's either work, love, or self. That's simple. Work, love, or self. Okay? Now, I mean, we could break that down into many other things, but truthfully, that's kind of the gist of it. That's the simplistic part of it, is work, love, and self. Okay? Now, the self, I'm telling you, some of you work on everything else. Okay? You focus on a lot of everything else except for yourself. Okay? Helping everybody else. Now, I got better for a minute there. I'm actually having English breakfast tea. Interesting. I think I steeped it for a little too much. But what you have to see is that you legitimately have the power. Do not allow yourself to get swayed by external influences. Your circumstances are something you've chosen to accept. I'm going to repeat myself. Okay. Your surroundings, what you are experiencing around you, is something that you have accepted into your life. If you feel that it is totally not something that you have to have, then it's time to change. So I'm going to change. I'm actually looking at comments here. Just bear with me. Francesca, Vero, hello. Rosemary, hello, hello. Okay. Jennifer, always a pleasure, sweetie, honey. She said, even Cheryl says she gave up TV except for History Channel, Cooking Channel, Good Safe Fun, things like that. Nature movie or something, which I still like action movies. Well, that's neither here or there. But even Jennifer is totally right. Letting go of old thought. Absolutely. So all these things are extremely important. And there's a point there, letting go of old thought. What old thoughts? What do you mean old thoughts? Old thoughts meaning thoughts that were given to us from our parents and our parents' parents. Example, okay? My father's side of the family, and I'm going to open this up. I'm being transparent here, and I don't care what nobody says about this. All right, even family. My father's side of the family, some of them, okay, especially like my father, unfortunately, was, I guess you could consider unstable or an addict of some kind, and the programming that he received from his father was because his father's father also gave him that programming. Okay, so it keeps trickling down, like, generational information. So each generation gets basically the same information over and over again. The same mistakes happen, so history is repeating itself because we are allowing history to repeat itself. Okay? Becoming the change is incredibly important. being the one who shifts the mindset and is the change for the routine and the constants of habit. And that's where I come in, is that I'm changing all that. Okay, because I don't wish next generations, meaning, my daughter, of course, and my daughter's children, okay, and her children's children, to actually experience those kinds of things. Okay, a lot of the times I see a huge amount of, parents not being there, and I will claim this. Okay, I wasn't there for my daughter. Hey, I'm totally transparent. Okay, I wasn't there for my daughter either. And the thing was that, again, my father would push me away whenever I got like the feminine energy into my life, like, or, emotionally and things like that. I don't know if anybody here has ever experienced this thing, but, signs of neglect or whatever, even the minimal amount. But, after a while, it becomes a program, like, oh, this is okay. Okay. But the truth is that unconditional love, and I'm still learning part of this, unconditional love, non-judgment, as well as acceptance, and being patient with people, which is a tough thing, even for me, Scorpio. Okay. But being like that is not conducive to growth. So, what do we do? Or what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What do you think should happen? What do you think should change? Okay. What do you think should change? Now, you could be a guide. Oh, Chericello. Hopefully I said that correctly. Just go ahead and on the watch party, there should be a share button. It's totally fine. Now, the biggest problem that I see is that people are very uncomfortable to change. They still are. Change is also inevitable. Just like Tony Robbins said, suffering is optional. So even though there's change, even subtle change, we still have to be there for ourselves. Give yourself a big hug. Okay, big hug. Hug a tree. Go meditate. Do something. Chills. There we go. Chills again on the right path. Okay, chills. Synchronicities here. Okay. Ultimately, what you have to see, I'm not saying, you have to. I shouldn't say that. That's kind of forceful. But what you should see is that certain micro synchronicities or little signs, are here for you to kind of get like a little nudge, you know? Exactly, Melissa. Go learn the unlearned. Okay, now that's just for yourself. But you, again, in order to do that, Melissa, okay, in order to do that, you have to reflect and see what it is that you've already learned. Now, we are so much in like this little box, because it's comfortable. We have specific beliefs. We are okay with certain things that people do to us or say to us. We are okay with how certain things are tolerable because we get used to them, we get comfortable with them. If we even decide to go outside of that comfort zone, that box, fear ensues. You want to get used to something? I got tea here and water here. want to get used to something? I'll tell you what to get used to. I'm still attempting to get used to this, okay? Get used to feeling uncomfortable. Get used to doing what it is that you really deep down don't want to do. Within reason, of course. I mean, I'm not saying go out and kill people. Okay, what I am saying is speaking your truth. Living a truthful life. Now, I've made my mistakes. I made my mistakes and I've learned from my mistakes. I am not saying, the opposite. I think we all do within reason. Wow, this is really, really hot. Okay. And we all learn from things. Wow, this got really, really wide. I was thinking about going a fifth time, but it won't do it. It'll probably snap if I do that. The thing is again, find out what you're uncomfortable with, right? Find out what, no, this ain't gonna work no more. Okay, find out what you're uncomfortable with and begin to reflect upon it. Is it something that you really, really have a passion for? Is it something that you really, really want to do? Okay. Is it something that you feel as if it's, are other people going to feel weird about it? Are people going to feel butthurt? Are people maybe not going to like me or something? But who gives a shit, honestly? Because all in all, it's really, really, it's about you. It's about your truth, your absoluteness, your feeling of contribution, your feeling of fulfillment. That's what it truthfully is. And if you're not living like that, then you're not living. You're just not living. Okay, for an example. Okay, now at times, wait, before I say for an example, but at times you'll find yourself consumed by certain things for a time duration. Okay, I love to be creative, which today and tomorrow and maybe even Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I know this is going to sound crazy, or like a whole week. Okay, I'm going to spend like a whole week on being creative. I'm going to wrap up a bunch of stuff that I just haven't done. I apologize in advance. Anyone who is watching this, who knows what I'm talking about, okay, sigils, soul drawings, all this stuff. Okay, these things are going to be completed within the next week. Okay, and ready to be shipped. Okay, so I'm going to just contact you guys. The thing is that if you put yourself into a situation where you have too many things to do and not enough time, or you actually become so emotional with all the things that you have on your plate that you stop doing your passions, something has to change. Now, Melissa, I got a really amazing kind of quote for that. All right. It is as such. Stagnicity turns into complacency, and complacency turns into laziness, and then laziness turns into a funk. So that's something that you got to really pay attention to. Daily mantras is fine. I mean, but like just like what Tony Robbins said, sometimes like affirmations and mantras, it can give you a false sense of security, and if you don't truthfully embody it, like actually believe it, well, how would I say this? You would have to believe it so much that you believe in God, or you believe in a higher power or a universe. No matter what anybody tells you, you know for a fact that it is real. Okay, without a shadow of a doubt, you have to have that devoted belief, that those things are real. So until you have that, it's really not going to manifest. Okay, without faith and belief, you're not going to manifest it. Okay, as well as when it comes to certain things, gratitude is part of it. It is one part of many. being grateful for what you have currently opens the gateway for things to come. But the thing is that a lot of us, okay, even myself at times, a lot of us are very uncomfortable, or at times are uncomfortable to give or ask or even accept to receive when we think that we're actually putting somebody else out or putting ourselves out. Putting yourself out is scarcity and poverty consciousness. That's mostly about money or things, or resources that, we're gifting other people. Oh, I'm not going to, replenish. You're always like, oh, do I really, oh no, I need this. I have to have, I need, that's the word. Okay. That you get in your head. I need this. I need this. I need this. This has to be here for me to do this. It will always be there. Let's break it down, people. Okay. Let's break it down. It'll always be there because you believe that it'll always be there. But here's a little bit of something that not many get. Those individuals that are watching this, that are collectively, if not individually, collecting a check every month. I'm going to kind of put the spotlight on you. The thing is, with that check, that is your safety net. Okay, that is your cushion. Okay, to some, it's your cushion. The thing is that the government never tells you that you cannot make any kind of money. It tells you that you have a cap, okay, like a making cap, okay, a capital cap that you can go up to, and they won't touch your check, right? So why would you only count on that check? Okay. Why would you only count on that check? Okay, some people can make 1,500, some people can make 1,100. How would you feel if you went ahead and made, now it's just not always about money, but money does help. It alleviates stress, okay, and worry for some people. So you're able to make that kind of money. What would that do for your life? What would that do for you? Just be honest with yourself. And when you're honest with yourself, you're going to be able to say, okay, what can I do to make that kind of money? Now, we can talk about manifestation and abundance all day long, but here's the point. Making sure that you have a balance of giving and receiving. It's interesting how people say, oh no, it's okay, I won't take that ride, or no, and you don't have to give me like $10 or something, for me doing this. It's fine. No, I don't want to put you out. Okay. The thing is, shut up. Be quiet when it comes to those things. You don't have to think that way anymore. That is what's stopping you from reaching your highest potential. Stop thinking that you, like looking at a person's situation and thinking that you are going to put them out by them giving you whatever it is that they want to give you. That is one of the biggest barriers in manifestation and abundance. Okay? That's one of the biggest barriers. Now, I'm just being truthful here. Okay? When it comes to manifestation and abundance, not accepting to receive is one of the biggest blockages that you could possibly go through. The soul healing. That's what these episodes and the season is all about. Okay, is healing from within, starting with the mindset. Okay, your mindset is very, very important. Hang on. Okay, like even what Jen says, contacting your estranged father, contacting friends that you haven't talked to in a very long time. There's so many things that we have yet. I was just looking at the watch party comments, and it all resonates under the same house. I mean, under the same environment, under the same frequencies. Stop holding yourself back. I know it feels uncomfortable. You get chills. You get worried about, oh, how's somebody going to feel? Who cares? If it's something you're passionate about, if it's something that you really enjoy to do or you really love, who cares? Even if somebody is doing the same thing, maybe you'll find a different way of doing it. Maybe you'll find an even better way of doing it. Who knows? Who knows unless you try? Okay, I know when I always tell people that I work with, the word try is accepting to fail. Who gives a flying hoot if you fail? You do. You do. And most of the time, you don't start something because of the fact that you don't want to fail. But failure equation adds up. Failure adds up to accomplishment. You're actually learning what not to do. This is kind of like what life's all about for some weird reason. Okay, I know it's just funky like that. It's like, okay, you live all these years. I mean, I'm always confused on whether or not I'm going to do the math right now because it's driving me nuts here. Okay, I'll do the math, and I'm not doing this just to grab my phone or ignore you guys or anything like this. But I'm actually going to do the math. So okay, so I was right, 41. Okay, so I'm going to be 41 this year. I just want to make sure. Sometimes even I forget. But turning 41 this year, going through all these years of learning, especially the spiritual stuff, it's helped me come into my own. Doing some of the things I feel uncomfortable with doing, like waking up early like this, and coming in here and sharing with you, priming with you, priming your mind, changing the mindset, okay, priming your mind to bring you into a different mode of living is extremely important for me. Okay, not to hypnotize you, not to make you think the way I want you to think, but beginning to think and believe the way that you should for yourself. Yes, okay, just making sure that came out correctly. All right. I mean, you guys can give me thumbs up, you can give me hearts all day long, but the fact is, once you begin to shift, once you begin to shift your consciousness, once you begin to shift your consciousness and begin to accept again, I mean, nothing's perfect, everything's temporary, everything changes in some way, shape, or form. We get older, there's certain, friends, go off to the wayside, and sometimes we focus on certain things, and we don't really spend as much time with the people we care about, or we start spending time with people that we're not supposed to be spending time with, that are legitimately vampirically draining our energy. Okay, and we should be utilizing that energy to be more productive. Okay, let's kind of wrap your head around that for a minute. Changing the mindset, looking, and I understand, look, sometimes we stay around, we stay around people. Okay, I'm just saying people in general. Sometimes we stay around people so much that we not only either A, become them, B, incorporate some of their practices or beliefs, or C, or three, we end up legitimately going nuts, knowing that what we really would like to have is the same kind of people that we resonate like. Okay, being around those people that kind of are on the same page as you, the same energy, the same vibration. Okay. The truth is that if that's the case, if that is something that you truly want to have, listen to me, pay close attention, even zoom in, okay? If that is truly what you wish to have, then become the catalyst, not the shepherd, but become the catalyst, the leader for that shift. Now, you can even do this with the same circle that you're in, but if there's a lot of resistance, you may need to purge. You may need to remove yourself from that circle. Okay, I know that there's plenty of you out there that, you get into a group, you feel real good, you get real close with people, then all of a sudden you can't really get away, because that's kind of like your posse now, your crew or something, you know. But the truth is, you really have to reflect on what you let in. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. You have to focus on what you let in to your energy field. And I know a lot of you may say something to me like, Raven, I've been changing this stuff. I resonate with, the people that I resonate with, they're great, yada yada. But the fact is, are they really? Is this, if this I know the auric field can go from 8 to 10 inches to a whole room, a whole building, the whole world, whatever. But when you look specifically at what you are allowing in your circle, your energy field, you look at it kind of like with a fine-tooth comb, so to speak. Are you within that circle because they acknowledge your existence? Are you in that circle because they validate your anger, or whenever you're upset or frustrated or aggravated about something, they're always making you feel better, which is decent. I get that. Or is it because going into that circle or being in that circle, accepting that environment, are you around those individuals because you're becoming them? You're able to tolerate what they do or say or act or react like or am. I mean, there may be a certain degree of acceptance and tolerance, but does it really resonate? Does like when you come into this, oh, it's great, people are hugging. I don't really care too much for people that are not open to receiving unconditional love, like hugging and stuff like that. Kissing on the cheek and Spanish love, because I'm partially Spanish, so I mean that's part of my culture, or part of my lineage. But ultimately, there's a lot of people that I've met throughout history, throughout my current cycle, that are like, oh, I'm not really, kind of like a touch, hands-on kind of person. Why not? Why not? Why aren't you? Why can't you embrace this? What are you afraid of? You're afraid of becoming too vulnerable? Are you afraid of getting hurt? Are you afraid of getting too close to somebody to where they can really do some damage to to your psyche, to your thought process, to your energy, to your light? Okay, no, again, that's choice. It's choice. The reality of that is that it's choice. You choose them to come in, you choose them to be a part of your life, and you choose what to accept to come in and what you project. Soul healing. Soul healing. So, what is it that you would do? Oh, this is up until 11:11, FYI, guys. You still got about 10 minutes. So what would you want to do? You would have to legitimately shift. You would have to shift your environment. You would have to shift your belief of what's happening. You would have to allow for certain things to come in. Okay? Pay close attention. Shifting your mindset is one of the most important things when it comes to healing from within. Do what you love. It's interesting. My grandfather told me this. Both of my grandfathers told me this. My father's father and my mother's father. Do what you love, and you won't work a day in your life. I believe that now. I do, because I'm doing really what I love. I am. I'm not frustrated with working for a company or something, or doing retail or sales or whatever. But I'm really doing what I love. Here's the question. Are you enjoying how you're living? Wow, it's almost all gone. This last part's going to be nasty. That wasn't as bad as I thought. Again, it's just, again, what you decide to bring in. Time will only tell. You will only tell yourself what it is that you want to have in your life. So this is episode 2. Episode 3 is whatever it's going to be. I love going fluid like this because it gives me an opportunity to share with you and even help myself for that fact. Like I said, I'm being transparent. To keep motivated. What motivates you? Here's a question. What motivates you? Probably your kids. I mean, most of you guys got kids. Okay? Most of you guys got kids. Shelly Lang, hey. Everybody who's came in here, I really do appreciate it. I really appreciate you. But here's the point. My message should reach all the way to the cosmos, all the way around the world. My voice should be heard. Not because I feel entitled, not because I feel, egotistical or arrogant or anything like that. Because I not only like to talk, but I also love to share my experiences and also bring you as a collective to a higher vibration and a better version of yourself. Now, I could speak until I'm blue in the face. But the biggest thing to me, is that when I look at what I'm doing, I see change. I see shifting. I know I didn't even put my salt lamp on. I apologize. I know I probably should have done that beforehand, or even lit incense for that fact. That'll be tomorrow. Thing is, we learn every day. If we allow ourselves, we learn every day something different. When you begin the process, if it has to do with money, okay, when it has to do with money, you have to look at exactly how much, and I keep telling everybody this, all right? Keep telling everybody this, and no, I'm not ignoring you, all right? I'm just logging into something to make sure what I have, okay, what resources I have available. And I'm not going to tell you what I have, but I'm just double checking, okay, just to see what's what. But Whoops. There we go. I just can't talk and type at the same time. The biggest thing that's true about life is that you absolutely should see what you have here and what it is that you have to change or choose to shift moving forward. There we go. I love the fact of doing this Saturday and doing my healing on Sundays. I really, really do. And I don't care what anybody says about it. I don't. Now I have the healing frequency. Now I'm going to share. I got like 4 minutes left. Okay. I'm going to share with you a couple of things. Again, first time clients for my regular services get 35% off. Okay. 35% off. Those who choose to do spiritual mentoring or soul mentoring and development, they get a 35% off all across the board during the whole duration that they're working with me. I don't know if I've ever told anybody this. The thing is that I have created a frequency that is the same frequency, but to a different degree of a healing frequency. DNA healing, DNA activation, all around healing, yada, yada. Had some pretty interesting comments about it, to say the least. I'm only charging $5.55 for this frequency. I know it's ridiculous, but I could charge way more for it. But 5.55 is the Major Life Changes code. Living life's purpose and soul mission. So remember that tomorrow I'm going to have a healing live video that you can join in. Tell me that you want the link or something, because I am going to create an event. Privately message me if you wish. Tell me that you want the link. We are going to sit in for at least 10 to 15 minutes, at least. And we're going to try to do the whole half hour tomorrow. I don't know how what's going to happen when I do it. But embrace change and doing something different in your life. I also have a frequency that I made for past life trauma and traumatic experiences to heal. Now, again, I'm not a doctor. None of this is to diagnose, any ailments or anything. But I am very much an advocate for helping people. And I am attempting to find any way to do just that. So you can go to my page. It's open. If you want a link to my page, just ask me. If you really like what you've heard today, you can gift to me. All you got to do is privately message me, and I'll send you a link to give whatever from $1 all the way up to $1 million I'm accepting to receive. Okay, if you want to help support me continuing to do this soul healing show, please do. Please feel free. Okay. Living in the vibration that's positive and conducive to productive change and growth is important for all of us to resonate in. So be humble, be blessed, live in love's vibrational frequency, and take care of each other. Blessings to you, love and light. Namaste. And when you need me, you know where to find me. Reverend Raven Nightclaw, HP, Soul Healing with myself. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, take care. See ya.